A very good evening and warm welcome to the first program of Research Team Jai Hind College, a webinar on open education resources, Creative Commons. Research team of Jai Hind College have always been active and try to fulfill whatever are the requirements for the research. As it is always said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use just to change the world. And to start with, this is our first session by Dr. Murugan on open education resources creative commons. So now I would like to request our principal Dr. Ashok Wadia to give his opening remark on this webinar. Sir.
Thank you, Sangeeta madam. Thank you, Archana madam and Devangi, the entire team of Research Hub. And sir, Dr. Murugan, I wish that normalcy in the true sense would have been there. So we would have met in the Jai Hind College rather than on the virtual platform. Nevertheless, I think one advantage of the virtual platform is that we can reach out to more number of students. And what has been told to me that number of people who have joined this are large, and therefore it wouldn't have been possible. I think IPL matches are going on in the Wankhede Stadium. Wankhede Stadium also would have been not sufficient to accommodate all. So we are happy that on the virtual platform, all will be very happy to listen to you and learn from you, and can actually carry out the research, which is the requirement of the day. And I think we have to inculcate that particular, interest in the research. So Jai Hind College tries to, ensure that all our students get the benefit and advantage of the facilities which are there in the Jai Hind College, whether it's a library or whether it's a research center or the expertise of the teachers. So with that intention, this particular research hub which has started, and the team which is working very passionately about this, rather two of them were in the college. I hope that they have reached home in time so that they can address it. I'm still in the college. Okay. So I'm good that they caught me because my phone was somewhere, I was somewhere. So I don't want to waste time, but I want to just mention that this open, uh, you know, forum which is there, where you'll find that whatever the research work which is carried out, and whether this particular kind of facilities available to the researcher. So open resources which we never, when we talk about, I think just like we are trying to help our students, everyone should think in those terms and try to provide whatever the learnings which are there to be available for everyone. Otherwise, most of the time, the researchers find it very difficult to access certain journals, certain facilities. So we at Jain College, even the research center also, the facilities are made available to other colleges also. So I think I don't want to take much time, but it's a very important topic, I will say, for any researcher, that to know where exactly the resources will be available, and those resources how usefully one can utilize to carry out the quality research. So, Dr. Murugan, thank you very much for coming on this particular platform and addressing the audience, which is not only of Jain College but the others. And I'm sure this will benefit not only the quality research, but as now we talk about the research for the society, and the research which will benefit the world, that will happen because of you. Thank you very much. Jain
Thank,
College is, I would like to express the gratitude on behalf of the Jain College and the research team. Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot,
sir. Thanks
sir,
a lot.
for your wonderful opening remarks. Now, with your permission, and we would like to grab the opportunity, being our first session for the academic year 2022-23. Research team Jai Hind College Autonomous would like to launch Research Hub. What is this Research Hub? What are the objectives and what exactly this Research Hub will bring you on? So, just to introduce the objectives of our Research Hub, what are the initiatives that we are going to take under this? Now, I request Dr. Archana Mishra, member research team, to just highlight some. Yes, Archana, please.
Yes. Devangi, may I request you to allow me to share my screen after this, yeah, of course.
Ma'am, you can start sharing the screen.
Sir has to declare it open.
I
I
just did
request,
it like this. Normally, I don't like to cut the ribbon. I like to
Okay, sir.
release the ribbon. So ribbon is released,
Sure,
and as all yours.
sure, sir.
Murugan
Thank you,
sir,
sir.
please allow us to continue with this and say that
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
inaugurated.
Yeah, it's
Thank you, sir.
inaugurated, ma'am.
Thanks, sir.
Your Jagan College Research Hub is inaugurated formally. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
please.
sir. We need your good wishes.
Yeah.
So I'm going ahead with the presentation here a little bit. A few things which we wish to share with everybody who is a part of the webinar today about this new initiative at Jai Hind College, which is called the Research Hub. And it is actually brought under the banner of IQAC of Jai Hind College. And it is an initiative by the research team of the IQAC. So I'm just, and it's the inspiration of for which has obviously come from our principal, Dr. Wadia sir, and I'm putting here the screen so that we can see some bits of it. Just a second. I will share. Divangi, in this, how do I go ahead to share the
Ma'am,
document?
you can click on share button. It will tell you
I
you
have
can
a Word
share.
document. I have a Word
Ma'am, you
document.
can share the screen. Ma'am, you share the
Okay.
screen. The last option is shares the screen.
Okay. Right. And I can go to this, right? Everybody
Yes.
can see it? Yeah.
No,
Right.
ma'am. Just give me a minute. It has not it has not asked here. Ma'am, can you see the screen being shared?
Yeah, I think so. I am able to see my window, which is showing the document.
No,
Is it
it
visible
has
to
to
everybody?
show, ma'am. It has to show on the same. It has to be seen on the same window where your meeting is on.
Ma'am, you just go to the meeting window and then click plus symbol, ma'am. There is a button called share.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
just selecting from there only, sir. And,
Yeah.
you know,
And then click share screen.
and with this, I exit this window and go to the document, or how do I do? Yeah,
No, ma'am.
now?
Ma'am,
You
just
please stay
minimize
in
the
the
window.
window. Yeah.
So I can't see the document here.
Ma'am, you just need to share. Once you've done share screen, that will pop up in front of me. So I will add it to the main room, and that is how people will be able to see it.
So I have shared it.
Yes, ma'am. I can see it now.
You can see it?
Yes. Now you can go to the document, ma'am.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for helping.
Most
Yeah.
welcome.
So this is the research hub that has been envisioned by Jai Hind College. This is the starting point for research journey at Jai Hind College by any faculty or students that we visualize who are currently with us and will be a part of us. Uh, the membership of this particular hub is open to all undergraduate students, postgraduate students, our alumni, our faculty who wish to grow in the area of research writing and also build a research profile for themselves as well as for the institution. The minimum commitment that we are asking for is roughly around 3 to 5 hours per week, and of course in the weeks that we will be busy with our academic schedule, we will of course be accommodating about that. Particularly it will be open to the faculty who are pursuing the PhD, who wish to write more research papers, We also are looking for faculty who are passionate about industry academia partnerships, as well as students who can contribute on this. So faculty and students also who are keen on the community service areas can also be a part of it, as well as we are looking out for any technical help that students or faculty would be willing to provide to strengthen the research ecosystem at Jai Hind College. Particularly an area which we will be looking at very strongly and we will all be trying passionately out for is the intellectual property rights. And right from having workshops to capacity building, we will be bringing in a lot of activities under this research hub. We are also looking for faculty, alumni, and students who will be part of these teams. So, all the work which has been spoken about here will be split up among the teams. It will be primarily the organizational structure is like this, but the additional executive team will be open to all faculty and students who wish to contribute on these teams can become part of it. Only those who work and are willing to and dedicate some hours to the building of the research ecosystem, of course, there is a progression ahead for them. All the meeting decisions, particularly pertaining to the college, will be looked at through the brainstorming sessions. We will have a monthly review meeting and a post events review meet as well. Research is an area which is most emphasized in the new education policy as well as multidisciplinarity. And as our life is becoming more and more complex and there are multiple intersections in any field that we come across, there will be a requirement for all of us to creatively come forward and provide the solutions to our lives, to our society, to our nation, and at the global level. The mission of the Research Hub will be joining our hands in a chain to bring a culture of research and innovation at Jai Hind College. The major objectives of this particular hub will be to develop inter-institutional research projects. They will be bringing grants and fellowships. We will try to do that and bring international patents and also, as much as possible, the patrons who can guide for these patents. And we will also try to bring in curated courses, inculcate values and ethics pertaining to research. And that is why we are bringing that series of webinars that we have chalked out as our first set of events. We are also targeting the industry institution partnerships to foster innovations and to bring patents, particularly for commercial use that could also benefit the institution and the nation as well, and build consultancy skills among the faculty. So as you can see, it is not a hub only pertaining to purely writing papers or doing PhD. It gives you a cross-sectional area where you can contribute depending upon your own interest areas and whatever your feasibility is there. So the research hub activities will be divided into these segments. One will be, of course, the collaborations we'll be looking at. The second is the outreach. The third will be papers, journals, and documentation. Fourth is the grant proposal writing, support and funding opportunities. Fifth is the curated courses, and sustainability is also an area which we'll be looking at. And then we have the events, conferences, workshops, and seminars which we'll be bringing across. So we have chalked out a bit of a plan here how to expand the research hub. So in the phase one process, we will be requesting the faculty and the students and the alumni to register. And for registration, we have kept a very minimum charge for the students, that is 100 rupees, and any student can become part of this particular hub. For the faculty, we have kept a fees or rather membership of 300, and for the alumni 200. Also, you have a freedom to choose your functional area. Which area do you want to contribute on? And then you can choose the area and either be a part of the executive team or you could be an ordinary member over there and contribute in whatever capacity. Also, choosing research mentors. We are trying to bring in the mentors here, and that is a task which Research Hub Executive Committee will be looking into. Suggestions are welcome, of course. And then phase one, working, will concentrate on bringing the fellowships, the grants, the workshops, capacity building workshops, as well as FDP, some conference. And we will be keeping our next phase for launching of the journal And that is where our phase 2 will come in. The funding for this research hub activities is another area which we'll need to look at. So quickly to tell you that one will be the industry support, and this industry support, in bringing the industry support, we request our students who are highly articulate and capable, they should also come forward, and the faculty who wish to contribute in different streams and disciplines, they can come forward, and we can have some industry academia collaborative events to start with, and then see whatever is possible to bring in as something like a resource base for the research hub, which will help us grow further. And we can, of course, have events, and we can have some fundraising campaigns as well. So when I say the grant proposal writing on behalf of the research hub, what exactly it means? It means that the proposal development, which seems a task for any individual alone to do, we will be providing some support. So the proposal development team will brainstorm. They will look at which grants they want to apply for. There will be the proposal support, which will be given in terms of proofreading, layout, and we will also get it reviewed by the external mentors or faculty who are there. And also the resources will be provided. That means the sample format, or what are the list of grants that we can apply for, or any funding opportunities which are there internally, also seed money which is there. So proposals can be invited from the students and from the faculty, and there will be a process by which the things will be allocated, and as it is also being done right now. And plus 6 monthly reports will also have to be handed over by the students and the faculty. Then we have curated courses, which I've already mentioned, that the idea is to strengthen the research capacity of the students and the faculty. The events will also look at creating particularly awareness about the research ethics and the UGC guidelines, as well as how to handle the checks. And we are also looking for the software, which we will also try to see as to how to provide you support on that. And then industrial and research collaborations is something which we are looking at very actively henceforth. And therefore, we welcome any suggestions and proposals. But you are expected that once you contribute by an idea, you must also take it ahead with responsibility. And then we have the patents, commercialization, and licensing services support, which we'll provide through the Research Hub, and a community and outreach. So this community and outreach could also have extension activities pertaining to NSS, ICH, sports heritage, ESG, all, and depending upon whichever area the faculty or the student would like to contribute, they can become part of this once they become the member of the Research Hub. And papers and journals and documentation, the idea is to initiate a multidisciplinary journal of quality, and again requesting the faculty who would be keen to contribute on this, as well as the students, to become part of it. Thank you, and over to Sangeeta ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Archana, for that wonderful briefing of our researcher. Now,
Thank
again, I would like to request you to introduce our
you. Okay.
speaker
Yeah.
for the today's webinar.
Right. Yes. Just a second, ma'am. It is our pleasure and privilege today to welcome the speaker for the day, whom we have invited from University of Hyderabad, Dr. P. Murugan. Dr. P. Murugan is currently working as an assistant professor at School of Management Studies, University of Hyderabad. He has an impressive work experience where he has worked with IIM Shillong, Australian Council for Educational Research, New Delhi, and National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. He has a great passion for research, and that is why we have chosen him as one of the first speakers while we inaugurate the Research Hub at Jai Hind College. He has been a resource person pertaining to the research workshops and all for 190 workshops and faculty development programs. I was a part of the HRDC refresher course of Hyderabad, and I was really awestruck with the kind of the planning which was done for the refresher and the quality of the speakers who were there, and including Murugan sir. he has also been a part of many faculty development programs held at the universities and business schools, in university at Chennai, at IIT Bombay, at SPJIMR Mumbai, at NIT Trichy. His expertise primarily lies in the areas of multivariate data analysis techniques, mediation analysis, moderation analysis, structural equation modeling, latent profile analysis, and item response theory. He is also familiar with data analysis software such as M+, AMOS, Python, R, Jamovi, JASP, SPSS, Blue Sky Statistics, Conquest, and IRT Pro. He has published over 16 papers in international journals and has presented over 21 national and international conferences. His papers have been published with SSCI, ABS, ABDC listed journals. And he has also developed his own set of e-content and video lectures, which I have also had the opportunity to see. And there is a lot to learn from him today. We welcome you, sir, on behalf of Jai Hind College, faculty and students, and the Research Hub. It is our pleasure to invite you for today's talk. And over to you, Murugan, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thanks to your principal, sir, and the Vangi ma'am and Sankita ma'am. So quickly, let me share my screen and then I'll start with my presentation.
Sure.
I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir. So by
So
the
just
time
to
you are sharing
explain
the
a few
screen, yeah.
things, Sangeeta
Yeah.
ma'am, you will be explaining the modalities.
For
Shall I go ahead?
yeah, please,
Shall I
yeah,
go?
yeah.
So first we'll have a talk from Murugan sir, and then we'll open the floor for interaction. Post which there will be a short quiz, which can be taken by both the faculty as well as the students, and then we will have the feedback session, and post that we will be allocating the certificates. So we welcome your participation, active participation for the session. Thank you, sir, and sorry.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, no issues. Fine. So I mean, I just conceptualized this particular webinar lecture in three folds. So first, I'll talk about what is open educational resources, and then Creative Commons. Of course, the faculty members working in any of the educational institutions, they might be having quite a bit of awareness about understanding what is OER, and how it will also help the students community in terms of reducing their education budget. So I'll bring some of the justifications as well as points in terms of helping the students to carry forward their research work, or maybe their learning process with respect to their studies. Then second fold is I'll share some of the useful resources that is coming from some of the US universities, where we can also get really good amount of e-content at free of cost. Then the third objective is, I mean, the third part is I'll show you three of the open source softwares, that is graphical user interface based softwares, where we can also do any sort of statistical analysis, whether you are coming from chemistry background or physics background. Part of your research work, you might be running some experiments, and in order to do the analysis, you might have to depend on some other softwares. So maybe I'll spend 5 to 10 minutes time in terms of showing the interfaces of all those softwares, and that is completely free. With the help of those open source softwares, education institutions like yours can save a lot of budget in terms of reducing the cost for procuring some of the commercial softwares. So whatever maybe the softwares I'm going to show you at this point of time, so that is something related to statistical analysis softwares. But there are plenty of softwares available in the open source platforms, even that can be availed and used by some of the faculty members coming from science, engineering, and then arts background and so on. So this is what I'm going to cover broadly. Part of this maybe next to 35 minutes or 40-minute session. So I'll try to condense everything within a short duration of time, and then we'll spend some 5 to 10 minutes for interaction and answering your questions. And I could able to see your comments as well as your posts in the YouTube chat window, because I have another screen where I'm also monitoring how many people are watching and then what sort of messages they were posting. So at the end of the session, you may not be able to make live interaction. Better you post your questions alone at the end of the session. I'll try to answer your questions. So before that, quickly, let me give you some summary information about why we need to use OER. So this point is highly useful for the educational people, especially faculty members as well as top level management people, those who are heading the entire institute. And in what way they can also reduce their education budget with the help of open educational resource content. So for them, it will be really useful. So the first point which I'm trying to provide here is cost reduction and national saving. So with the help of open educational resources, you can bring down your education budget of your university or maybe your college. Then which in turn, for example, public universities like us, they can also reduce the cost of the education budget, especially procuring the softwares or maybe some of the textbooks. That is stored in the repository of library, central library and so on. In turn, we can also do a national saving. So I did rough estimation in terms of computing the cost spent by most of the educational institutes in India, and it is roughly coming around 2,297 crores. If you have this particular money, if you are able to save this particular money, you can build at least three to, in within a year, you can create some three to four central universities or maybe state universities. That much of budget we are spending in terms of procuring some of the commercial softwares. And I don't want to question any of the commercial softwares that is available at this point of time. But my proposal is, with the help of using some of the open source softwares, we can reduce our education budget. In turn, we will be able to do some national saving. That's the point I'm trying to propose here. And this estimation is, rough estimation only. And moreover, I have covered only three softwares that is widely used in most of the business schools curriculum. Similarly, in science department like chemistry or physics and so on, there also they use different sort of softwares. Commercial softwares in terms of running experiments or maybe in terms of recording certain experiments and so on. For example, IBM SPSS is one of the well-known software in the academic fraternity, especially the people those who are coming from education background as well as management background and social science background. They have good amount of awareness about using IBM SPSS software. So per year, base version cost is 77,000 rupee. And let us assume that there are about 5,000 business schools are available in India, including IITs, IIMs, and then private business schools and standalone business schools and so on. And let us assume that out of 5,000 business schools, 2,000 schools are going to procure this software with the 60 user license, and it is coming around approximately 924 crores. So how do we reduce this cost? So there are some open source softwares available in the public domain. One is Blue Sky Statistics, second one is Zamovi, third one is ZASP, and then some other programming based softwares are available, that is R and Python. With the help of these softwares, we can completely replace some of the commercial softwares like IBM SPSS and so on. Once again, I'm reiterating my quote. I'm not against to any of the commercial softwares. What I'm proposing is, with the help of some of the user-friendly and open source softwares, we would be able to reduce our education budget at the individual student level, at the individual department level, at the individual college level. In turn, at the country level, we'll be able to save a lot of money. That's the proposal I'm trying to make by showing this particular slide. This is with respect to software usage. If you look at the book usage, textbook content usage, there are some open textbooks available in public domain, especially under the Creative Commons license. So people can freely download all those content without paying any money. Only thing is we need internet to download the textbooks. Libraries can print the textbook by giving the apt citation of the particular source of reference. Then later what they can do is simply they can store it in their library. That is possible, very much possible. Our faculty members can share the PDF file of the document to their students. That is also possible. I took one of the example from management discipline. So there is a book called Principles of Management. This is one of the course widely taught in most of the business schools in India, and close to 6,500 MBA colleges are available in India. And let us assume that out of which 6,500 colleges, only 5,000 colleges are going to procure this textbook. Let us assume that 30 textbooks in a year they are going to subscribe. The present Amazon price is 829 rupee for one of the standard textbook on principles of management, and it is coming around 124,350,000 rupees. So this is the money we are going to spend in terms of procuring this particular textbook. And from the sustainability point of view, you just think about the cost involved in terms of printing the textbook as well as in terms of consuming the papers and so on. So once the students are procuring the textbook, then later simply they will throw it in the dustbin or they will keep it in their rack. And I don't think so lifetime they are going to go back and read or refer something which they have procured during their first semester, second semester, and so on. So, in order to reduce this particular cost, we can also look for some of the open textbooks that is coming from some other open resources site. I'll show you some other resources little later. Now try to understand what is open educational resources. In simple sense, in single statement, OER is nothing but anything is available to the public at free of cost without any restrictions. Without any restrictions. If that is the case, it can be in the form of text material, it can be in the form of audio material or image content or video content or even textbook content. It can be anything. If it is freely available to the public under some open source license category, so if that is the case, that is nothing but open educational resources without charging anything, without creating any hurdles in terms of copyright issue violation. If something is available to the public, means that is referred as open educational resources. So under the OER category, there are a few types of licenses are available. That is, Creative Commons licenses are available. So one is public domain license. The C is nothing but public domain license. And then you have CC by license, and then CC by share alike license, CC by non-derivatives license, and then you have CC by non-commercial license, CC by non-commercial share alike, CC by non-commercial and non-derivatives, and so on. These are the different types of licenses that is coming under Creative Commons licenses category. And how do we understand all those types of licenses? Very simple. So suppose if the content is coming under CC by share alike license, means you can copy and publish that content without any restriction. You can, attribution is required. Attribution is required means whether the citation need to be given or not. Yes, the citation need to be given about the source of the reference. And then commercial use, even for commercial usage purpose, you can use it. For example, I'm running some workshop by charging some money from the participants. Will I able to use that particular content? Yes, I can use it even for commercial purpose, because workshop or FTPs are considered as commercial activities because I'm charging some money from the participants. Then similarly, you can also modify the existing content that is coming from that particular resource, and then you can also adapt it for your course pack, or maybe you can adapt it for your regular teaching. That is also possible. And changing the license is also very much possible. So this is a way how you can also understand different types of licenses that is coming under Creative Commons licenses category. So how do we use all those content part of our teaching? From the faculty's point of view, if you want to do course customization, for example, for one of the unit, you bring some of the open source journal papers from some of the top tier journals, and you bring some of the video lectures from MIT Open Courseware or maybe some other site. For another unit, you can bring some resources from NDL site from India, National Digital Library of India. So likewise, if you bring different sort of resources from different open educational resources repositories, with the help of that, you will be able to customize your entire course. Need not to depend on any of the single textbook to teach your content. So blindly, you can go and bring a lot of materials from some of the public repositories, and then you just, then and there you can share it with your students with the help of WhatsApp group or with the help of your LMS platform and so on. So that's the way how you can also do the course customization. And especially for online teaching, this is highly essential because students will be sitting in their home and they do not have access to the library, or maybe they do not have access to the computer lab or computer facility that is provided by your college to the students. If that is the case, how do they access some of the softwares? How do they access some of the textbooks for their reading purpose? So for those reasons also, you can make use of some of the open educational resource content. Now, quickly, I'll show you some of the content that is coming from various sources. So this is my personal site. You can go to my personal site. So this is the resources link. So I have created this particular page, especially empowering the research scholars community, the people those are coming from commerce and management background. So you can go through all those references. Definitely, some of the references might be useful for your research. And if you go down in this site, so I have created a separate section for open educational resources where I have populated some of the content. I mean some of the useful content to the entire public. So now I'll show you all those content. After that, I'll demonstrate something. Just a minute. It's loading. Yeah. So if you go to this OER page, Open Educational Resources, so here if you want to do OER search, so how do we do the general Open Educational Resource content search process? So there is a website called search.creativecommons.org, and then you can also go to the serendipity.utpl.edu.ec, or you can also go to Open Education Consortium.org. These are the three web sources where you can also do the general search. Otherwise, what you can do is you can also do something called Google Advanced Search. So with the help of this also, you can, source some of the educational content at free of cost. Especially for the faculty members, let us assume that tomorrow I'm going to teach a content called regression analysis. And I would like to bring some open resource content which can be shared among my students. So in order to do that, what I can do is simply I can type regression analysis in Google Advanced Search, and then you go down here. You have something called usage rights. Here you try to select this option, free to use, share or modify even commercially, and then you click advanced search. You will be able to get list of links from your Google search. So all those links are coming from some other open source category. For example, let me open this particular content. This is coming from opentextbc.ca site. So there is a chapter part of one of the statistics book or multivariate statistics book, and there is a content available on regression basics. So you just go through this content. If you feel that this particular material is really good enough for your teaching, you simply share this link with your students. So through this way, you can do a blended teaching, as well as you can also do the flipped classroom sort of teaching, or you can also do online teaching in an effective manner. So that's the reason I'm showing this particular process. So as a faculty, what we are supposed to do is we need to open each and every link, and then you try to assess the quality of the link. Also, you try to match your expectations with the available content. If it is matching, then need not to bother about anything. Simply you just share it to your students. How do we assess whether this content is coming under Creative Commons category? You just go down in every page. Definitely they could have given some information about the licensing category. So at the end of this page, book chapter page, so they're saying that this content is coming from this particular textbook and licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 international license. So clearly they have mentioned something about this is coming under Creative Commons category. So if you want to know something more about this Creative Commons category, you just click this link. You will get you will get some explanation from creativecommons.org. So here they say that this content is coming under CC by 4.0 category, and which means that you are free to copy and redistribute the material in any medium or format, adapt, remix, transform, and build upon the material for any purpose, even commercially. So which means that there are no restriction associated with this particular content. You copy paste the content in your reading material, and then if you want to add something, you add it. If you want to delete something, you delete it. But at the end of the page, you have to provide the source of the reference. Okay, part of this material is coming from this particular source, something like that. You try to give the citation of this particular reference. When you are trying to create some online content, especially for SWAYAM, or maybe if you are running distance education program, and if you are trying to create some material for your distance education program, there also you can manage your course material preparation process by depending on some other open educational resource content. So this is a way how you can also do effective online teaching with the help of open educational resources. Suppose if you want to bring some videos, if you want to bring some videos part of your course or part of your class, so how do we look at Creative Commons videos? You just go to YouTube and then type regression analysis in your YouTube channel. I mean, you just go to YouTube and then type regression analysis. So here you will be able to see some option called filters. Here you will be able to see some option called filters. You just click filters, and then here on the fourth column, you have this option called Creative Commons. Click Creative Commons. Once you click Creative Commons, whatever may be the videos you are getting, everything is coming under open source licensing category. So here there is a video on simple linear regression. There is a video on multiple linear regression coming from NPTEL source. So you are free to use this particular content. But before that, you try to watch the video and then you try to assess the quality. Of course, this video is coming from IIT, so blindly you can trust the quality of the video content. And if this content is exactly matching with your course curriculum, means instead of teaching what is multiple linear regression, you share this video with your students. Next day, you go and do the application oriented activities during the class session, so that you can have really productive session rather than we delivering the entire content related to that particular topic to our students. This is a way how you can flip the classroom basically with the help of OER resources. Similarly, if you want to borrow some resources from other sites, so what are the sources are available? Let me show you. From India, you have SPIAM, NPTEL, this National Repository of Open Educational Resources, and then the National Digital Library of India. I like this source like anything. You just blindly go to a National Digital Library of India. This is like a one-stop solution for e-content or maybe OER content. You just type the keyword related to your topic or maybe related to your course, and then you just click search. So you will get a lot of content from this particular source in the form of e-text, text content, video content, presentation, audio, simulation, application, images, and then other formats also available here. Suppose now you are looking for some video related content. You just click on the right hand side, you have this filter options, right? You just click video. Now you will get a lot of videos related to regression analysis. For example, there is a video coming from again NPTEL source, and this video is on regression analysis. This is coming part of one of the design of experiments course or maybe topic. So this topic is coming from one of the professor from IIT Madras. You just watch this video and then you match this particular content with your course content. If it is matching, then probably you can share this video with your students. Before you go to the class, please ask them to watch the video content, and then during the class you go on to the application related activities. That's the way how you can ease out the job of your teaching and delivery process. Similarly, you can go to some of the international sources. For open source software details, you just visit this FOSSEE site. This is managed by our Ministry of Education, and here they have given a lot of software details which is open source in nature. Still they can update some more softwares, and especially for the management and the commerce students, here I have compiled some of the open source softwares. For more details, you just visit my site. You will be able to get all those references from this particular link. Now I'll show you some of the international, one or two international sources where you can also get good quality OER content. This University of Pittsburgh is one of the very good source where you can get really good quality content. So you quality content in the sense they just compiled some of the sources of OER content in a single Google Drive folder. I just show you. You just go to this University of Pittsburgh library system, and here you have this option called Find. Under that, you will get this option called OER Guides by Subject. You just go there. You will get a Google Drive folder. For example, Madam is Sangeeta Madam is coming from chemistry department. She is trying to locate some content related to chemistry. So you just open this chemistry OER. You will get a lot of links related to chemistry related content. This Lumen chemistry courses is one of the free source. K12 chemistry is another free source. OpenStax chemistry is another free source where you can get some chemistry related textbooks. BC Open Campus Search for Chemistry is another source. Likewise, you will get a lot of sources where you can also download some of the chemistry related content. Not only for chemistry, you have content related to budgeting, accounting, business OER, and then engineering related to OER, communication related to OER, dental assisting related to OER, math related to OER, human relation related to OER, and then humanities, and then microeconomics, music, nursing, nutrition, philosophy, psychology. You name anything, you will get everything from this particular repository. Similar to this, I like MIT OpenCourseWare like anything. You just blindly go to MIT OpenCourseWare site. From here also, you can get a lot of content at free of cost. You just type the content name, you will be able to get the references. See, these are all the contents that is coming from ocw.mit.edu. Networks for learning, regression and classification, introduction to analysis, Fourier analysis. These are all the subtopics related to regression. If you want to do some department wise search, so here in the site itself, you have different sort of filter options. For example, you are looking for some content related to undergraduate level, and the content must come from social science discipline, not from science or mathematics discipline. So these are the regression analysis related content that is coming from social science domain. And here, whether you are looking for lecture notes, whether you are looking for problem sets, whether you are looking for assignments, whether you are looking for video lectures. So on the left hand side, you have multiple filter options. And specifically, you can also select the department from where you want to get the content. So for example, I would like to get this content from Sloan School of Management. So from management department, these are the few things that is coming related to regression analysis. So you just open all those things. These are the courses, but these are the resources that is coming. See, there is a content on simple regression, and then distribution regression and counterfactual analysis, and then autocorrelation regression example data set is available. So like that, you will get a lot more information from this MIT OpenCourseWare resources. So this is also another best way how you can also locate some, really good quality content at free of cost. So what I'm proposing here is not only for the faculty, even for the students also. From the student point of view, it's not that 100 teachers, suppose if you have 6 teachers per semester, all of them are not that great or all of them are not having equal caliber. So if you're not satisfied with any of the teaching or maybe any of the professor, I'm not saying that in your college that is happening. Across the globe, I'm saying this because there is a parity, right? So if you want to advance your knowledge, what you can do is simply you just go to MIT OpenCourseWare and then you pick some of the relevant courses related to your discipline or maybe related to your program, and then you watch the video lectures that is coming from one of the MIT professor, and you try to advance your knowledge. So these days, self-learning is the best medicine I could advise from the student's point of view. The way in which how you can also advance your knowledge. In turn, you will also be able to strengthen your CV. In turn, you will be able to do better research. These are the few educational resources which I can show you in during this session, and especially for locating the textbooks, I have compiled some of the links. For more details, you just open each and every link, you will get one or other resources at free of cost. Suppose if you want to locate some of the open textbooks, I'm just taking only one example here. You just go to this openstacks.org. This is managed by Rice University, USA. And here you have the peer-reviewed open textbooks. Freely, anybody can download this content. For example, I think these are the different discipline-related books available here. Suppose, let us assume that one of your professor is teaching basic chemistry to the undergraduate students, maybe in the first semester or second semester and so on. So here you have chemistry volume 1 and chemistry volume 2. Just try to match this table of content with your course syllabus. If it is exactly matching, simply you refer this textbook. Anybody can download this. Even you can also customize your course by bringing only one chapter from this particular textbook. You bring another chapter from some other textbook. You bring another chapter from maybe one of the journal resources. Through that way, you can also bring some of the open education content part of your teaching. You embed all those links in your course plan and then you send it to your students. uh, without any additional effort, they will be able to download everything at free of cost. There is also another way how you can also enhance your teaching practices. So this is another source where you can also get really good quality textbooks. Similarly, you go to Maryland Foundation, you go to doabooks.org. This is also another very big repository where you can get really good quality books. For example, I'm just typing market segmentation as a keyword here. So there is a whole book available on market segmentation that is published in Springer, authored by one of the foreign university professor, and that is freely available to the public. Let me show you. See, market segmentation analysis. You just open this textbook, and you click the exact link where you can download the text content. Once you click the DOI number, you will be able to download the entire PDF version of this particular textbook. Through this way, again, you can also bring really good quality content from some of the open source resources. This is some of the examples in terms of understanding, bringing some e-content related to text, video, and so on. Now, I'll show you how do we bring some of the open source journal articles, which will also enhance our teaching process. In most of the top tier journals also, they do publish papers under open access licensing category. Let me show you one of the sample paper. So I'm just visiting Journal of Management. This is considered as one of the top tier journal in management discipline. And here also, in order to download the papers from Journal of Management, you need to have subscription. But here they have they do publish open source papers. They do publish papers under open licensing category. So, for example, if you go to view all online first articles, here itself they clearly say that whether this paper is published under open licensing category or not. For example, if I open this paper, anybody can download this paper from your end without subscribing this particular journal. So here clearly they have mentioned that the licensing category is CC by non-commercial. So since education process is considered as one of the non-commercial activity, and if you want to teach something related to bundle approach to product categorization, part of the marketing subject, you share this paper. This is one of the really recent reference. So you are giving current knowledge to the students basically. Whatever may be the content that is existing in your textbook, at least that is 10 years or 15 years old content. Especially for elective related courses, you can completely customize your course content by bringing resources from open textbooks, open journal papers, and then some of the open reading materials or maybe e-text content from other sources. Or blindly, you can also use some of the NPTEL videos or SWAYAM videos and so on for your regular teaching and delivery process. Through this way, you can bring down the workload of the entire institute, not in a drastic manner, maybe slowly you can bring down the workload. For example, if you are supposed to deliver a content, deliver a course by keeping 45 hours of session or maybe 40 hours of session, means you go for blended mode, at least you can reduce 5 hours of teaching load or maybe 10 hours of teaching load. Instead of delivering the content, what sort of content, for all those things, either you create your own videos or you bring videos from external sources, or you simply share the link with your students, and then during the classroom you do discussion or you do some activities or you do some application oriented activities. With the help of that, you can enrich the learning process of your students. In turn, you can advance the learning outcomes of the students. That is possible. And similarly, here in DOAJ also, you just type the keyword, and whatever may be the keyword you are typing related to that, you will be able to get some content from the journal articles. I'm not saying that all those journal papers are really quality one, but this is like another Google for locating open source journal papers from different sources. So that's the way how you can consider this directory of open access journals repository. So what I have discussed so far is I just shown some of the sources from Indian source and then international source, and then how do we locate videos, e-text content, and then textbook, and then journal papers. Now I'll take another 5 minutes to show you some of the open source graphical user interface based open source softwares. So I like this Zamovi, Zaz, Blue Sky Statistics very much. And these are the three user-friendly softwares, I mean graphical user interface-based softwares, which can be used by the researchers as well as students community in terms of performing any of the statistical analysis. You name any analysis that will be there. If that is not available in the event-driven option, you use R packages, you use syntax-based coding method in terms of performing that particular analysis that is possible. So first what I'll do is I'll open Zamovi software, and then I'll show you the interface and then the different features available in Zamovi. Meanwhile, let me open ZASP software because my system is taking some time to open everything. I'll also open Blue Sky statistics software.
So may I also request you to also show some humanities related, particularly open source course related?
Yeah. For example, in yes, ma'am. For example, if you go to the Pittsburgh site, there you have content related to humanities, science, and then social sciences and so on. So there they have very big list of
Right.
sources where you can also browse some of the content. Even in MIT Open Courseware, you have content
Yeah, MIT open
related
course. Right.
to this.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is what Blue Sky Statistics. This is what the interface of the software, and you can connect the data with the help of this open menu. Since we are not having enough time, I'm not demonstrating anything. You just look at the analysis menu. These are the provisions available here. You can do correlation test. You can do clustering, factor analysis, mean related test like ANOVA family of techniques, MANOVA, and so on. Then non-parametric techniques. And if you go to this model fitting, here you have GLZM model, Kane, and under the regression you have linear regression, logistic regression, multinomial logistic regression, ordinal regression, and so on. Even one can do mixed modeling analysis with the help of this blue sky statistics. Up to neural network decision tree also can be performed with the help of this blue sky statistics software. One commonality among the ZASP, Zamovi, and Blue Sky Statistics is they are using R packages that is openly available in the public repositories, and then they are trying to build some menu-driven options basically in order to give some user-friendly provisions to the research community. So students can also avail this facility by simply visiting this particular software website. You just download it, need not to pay anything because all of these three softwares are coming under open source licensing category, similar to your R and R Studio or Python programming and so on. This is what Blue Sky Statistics. This is ZASP. This software is created and managed by University of Amsterdam under the open source project category. And here also you have a lot of provisions. Here you can do mixed method analysis, ANOVA family of technique, regression, even structural equation modeling is also available. That is also, available in JAS software. Just to show you how interface will look like. So let me open one of my data set and then I'll show you how it will look like. So this is how the interface will look like. Suppose if I want to do some regression, you just go to this linear regression and then drag the dependent variable and then drag the independent variables here. On the right hand side, simultaneously, you will be able to get the output. That's the beauty of this particular software. This is the way how you can get this particular software. Sorry, how you can perform the analysis using this JAS software. The same logic is applicable to Zamovi as well as Blue Sky Statistics. I think some of the people also coming from hardcore science background, most of the people are using MATLAB software, right? You can also use GNU active software in the place of MATLAB. The interface is exactly similar to MATLAB, but I have not used this particular software. But this is also completely free to the public. This is also completely free to the public and need not to pay anything. With the help of this software, you will be able to run any sort of programming, numerical calculations, or optimization related algorithms. Everything can be done here. Similarly, you have one more software called Scilab. This is also again another open source software. So with the help of this also, you can do wonders. This is mainly useful for the science people. So you name any software, there will be some open source package or maybe open source software available in the literature. At least for a teaching purpose, you make use of all those software. Even if you're not using it for your research, at least for your teaching purpose, you can make use of all those softwares. So that's the way how you can also save the money to your institute as well as to the entire country. This Zamov is another wonderful software, even with the help of already I have installed this software. I don't know why it is asking me to install it once again. Let me locate the Zamovi. And another important component in terms of understanding this open educational resources, it's all about mindset basically. If you're ready to change your mindset, then definitely you can embed a lot of e-content in your course pack itself. I mean, course material itself. In turn, you will be able to do a better delivery to your students and so on. So, yeah, meanwhile, I'll take some questions. If you have any specific questions, please let me know, or you can post it in the chat window. I mean, YouTube chat window. So I'm also watching the live video. I mean, YouTube through your YouTube channel. So if you have any questions, please post it in the chat window. Yeah. Anything else, ma'am, from your end?
Devangi, if you
Sangeeta,
can
ma'am, and Archana,
pick up the
ma'am.
questions and we
I'm
can
sorry,
move
sir.
Yeah.
So we'll take
Anything
the
from your
directly
end,
to the
ma'am?
questions.
Yeah. So I could not see any questions on the chat
So
window.
for
So
particularly humanities segment, I would like to understand for English pertaining to language and all, and
yeah,
environment.
yeah,
If you bring as foundation course,
yeah,
then
yeah.
these will be like. Do we have some resources for this, sir?
Yeah, I'll show you, ma'am. You just go to this MIT Open Courseware, ma'am, and then you
Yeah.
click Explore. So here you can do department-wise search also. For example, you click undergraduate,
Okay, like that.
and you were asking for
Correct.
humanities, right? Let me click humanities. From
Yeah.
humanities, these many courses are available, ma'am. Japanese for anthropology through speculative fiction,
Right.
again within humanities you can go for I mean particular department. I think here I'll be able to locate department. So you were asking something related to linguistic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Linguistics and communication. If you have anything.
Yeah, this is linguistic and philosophy.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
literature is available, and you do have architecture, then anthropology. So let me click linguistic and philosophy. So these are the courses available from linguistic department, ma'am.
So, if I may just try to understand, sir, instead of the SPSS, we can also use Blue Sky Statistics, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And can you also
They,
please explain about FOSSI? Yeah,
no, that
FOSSI.
FOSI is a site where our Indian government has compiled some information regarding the open source software, ma'am. That's it.
Yeah, correct. So
So
we have to
here,
go through
yeah,
it.
yes,
We can access here also. So for
yes,
this, we need
yes,
to
yes.
register our institute over
Nothing,
there.
nothing, nothing, nothing
Nothing
is
is
required,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay,
Nothing is required.
anybody
Nothing
can
is required.
access.
Yes, yes. For example, if you want to see Blue Sky interface, let me open my data set quickly. Um, Desktop, OER, family balance. So my data set has been opened here.
Correct. Yeah.
Now I want to do regression. I just go to regression, click linear basic. My dependent variable is ls, and I would like to consider these three variables as a independent variables. Just drag it here, and then you
Right.
execute this dialog. On the right hand side, you will be able to get the regression output. So for undergraduate teaching, what else you need beyond this? Why do you want to spend your
Correct.
money in terms of
Absolutely. Right.
procuring commercial softwares? If something is not available, what you can do is here you have the editor option. With the help of R syntax, here you can run any sort of analysis.
Right, sir. And
Suppose
sir, for
I would like to I
Swayam,
would like to get collinearity value. Collinearity value is not coming here. You use that particular syntax so that you will get additional output. That's it.
right, sir. So the
Yes,
four
ma'am.
quadrants which is done for Swayam, for instance, and suppose we require some uh, videos also which can be used, like a history documentary, for instance, I want to use. while I'm teaching and I want to show a short clip, then
Yeah.
is there a repository for that as well?
Ma'am, most of the
Open
current
source?
course videos are available to the public when you enroll into that course. Otherwise, it is not available. But whatever may be
Otherwise,
the courses that is coming from NPTEL, that is publicly available, ma'am.
right. Otherwise, we
Even
have to
if the
put that
course is
filter.
offered through, yeah, even if the course is offered through spam platform, probably even they could have created some YouTube channel in public domain. There could be some resources coming from YouTube, but you may not be able to access e-text and other things
Right.
unless you have the
Absolutely.
enrollment.
Correct.
But in the case of NPTL, everything is publicly available.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ma'am, do we take
Uh,
questions from our faculty
so, ma'am, I have
and
gathered a few
students as well?
questions from
Yeah.
the
Go ahead.
YouTube, the viewers, and all the participants. So,
Yes, ma'am.
with
Please,
your
ma'am.
permission, sir, may I take them?
Yes, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
So, the
Yeah.
first question is, a faculty of ours has asked that she has heard
Yeah.
about DRM free resource. Is it a
Okay.
type of OER?
Just a minute, ma'am. I'm just checking. First time I'm
Yes, sir.
hearing about this DRM free resources. I think it's a OER only, ma'am. Clearly, this is managed by RMIT University Australia, and
Okay.
clearly they have mentioned that open educational resources. And I don't know for what purpose they use this DRM free. I don't know whether it's a software or something like that. DRM is meant as digital rights management. So this is completely free, ma'am. Because
Okay.
under
Uh,
open educational resources category only they have populated this content.
okay.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers your question, Suchita ma'am.
Yeah.
So there is one more question. I believe it is from a faculty again. How to
Yeah,
run
Rajendra
regression
ma'am.
analysis
Yeah, with the
while
multiple
having
dependent
multiple
variable.
dependent variables?
Yes. So you have to do multivariate regression where you can have multiple dependent variables, or you can also do the same thing with the help of simultaneous equation modeling or path analysis, where we can have multiple set of equations in the single model. But multiple regression is capable of handling only one dependent variable. But in multivariate regression, you can have a number of DVs as well as a number of IVs. That is doable. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Then
Sir,
yeah.
there is one more question. It says, how do we generate a license for some content that we developed?
Very good question, ma'am. Very good question. For that, I have given a link in my website. This is called Open Attribution Builder, Open Washington. If you click this link, you will be able to visit this particular site. Here you provide the title name, URL of the item, author name, URL of the author page, organization, and then under which project category you have created that content. Here you will be able to get the citation map, that open educational resource citation. Which type of license you want to give. Suppose, see, I don't want to put any restriction. I will give attribution CC by, which means that anybody can use it without any hesitation, but they have to provide the citation of my resource. If you give public domain, even in order to cite the reference also, simply they can copy paste and whatever they want to do, they can do it even without citing the source of the reference. That is also possible. So this attribution builder is one of the useful source where you can also create the attribution. The way in which how they have created the attribution in one of the source which I have shown. Similar to that, you can also do that.
Thank you, sir. So
Yeah.
the next question is there any monetary loss for the authors of content that is distributed under open source?
No, 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 no. See, if some funding agency is giving some funds for creating open textbook, you can pool group of researchers or maybe teachers, and then you write a open textbook and then put it under open licensing category. If that project is funded by some funding agency, there won't be any issue. But otherwise, we don't get any royalty or any monetary benefit when you contribute something under the open licensing category. It's all about giving some service to the society and getting some satisfaction. That's it.
Okay. Okay, sir. Sir, is Coursera included in open source content?
Ma'am, some of the videos are freely available. Only thing is you have to enroll into the course. But if you want to get certificate, you have to pay something. But for
Right.
educational purpose, I think we can use those resources, ma'am. At least the video resources.
Okay. Sir
They have not
Shuchita,
mentioned anything about the Creative Commons licensing category. So that's the reason I don't want to say that completely you can use it. But yes, there are some limitations.
okay. Sir, there are requests from the participant for the video which you shared with respect to how do we license the content. So, could you please
Yeah.
share that, because the video, it seems, went too fast for them.
Not video, I mean the link. There's a link. I'm just posting the link in the chat window. Or you
Yes,
try
sir.
to rewatch this video once again by visiting this channel. Anyway, this video will be
Sure.
available in Devangi
Yes.
ma'am YouTube channel, so they
Yes,
can
sir. It
watch
will
it.
be available. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, sir,
Sir, the next
is it a
I'm sorry.
problem? Just a second. Devang, is it a
Yeah.
problem if any student or any faculty prints this material?
No problem, ma'am. Only thing is you have to provide the source of, I mean, you have to credit the source
Attribution.
of the reference. For example, if you
Okay.
go to OpenStack's website, clearly they are stating that if you want to print this textbook, in every page of the textbook, you keep that the source is coming from so and so link. That's it.
Right.
That's the only requirement.
Thank you.
You read the licensing statement, that will give you the
Clear.
clarity, ma'am.
So the next question is, what are the requirements for an institution to build an open source database of its own?
No requirement, ma'am. I don't know. I think in NAC accreditation and all, they are encouraging MOOC
There.
related content and then OER content and all. But on social service basis, you can do that. For example, MIT has created this content in way back 2004 itself. Who has asked MIT to share their own classroom recordings and lecture notes to the public? So hardly people are donating something to MIT, and with the help of their alumni support or maybe their institution support, they have created good quality content. And you name any course that will be coming from MIT Open Courseware. I would rate MIT Open Courseware as a number one. I mean, open source resource.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I believe this is the last question.
Yeah.
How can the proliferation of OER be carried out in remote areas of our country?
One way is we have to do the sort of webinars. You share all those resources with other
Resources.
people.
Yeah.
Only requirement is they need to have some smart device and internet. That's it. There's a way how we can create some awareness among the people. Or you can also start writing some articles, small local language articles that can be published in the local newspapers or maybe in local television channels. Through that way, also we can create some awareness.
I
Students
hope
are the best
that is
source. Students are the best source to spread the awareness.
Correct.
sure, sir. I hope that has answered the questions. Majority of the questions were taken up, I believe. If there is anything missing, can somebody please quickly put the remark on the chat box so that I can take up the question in case I have missed any?
Sir, I had a question that just in case
Yeah,
any institution or any individual wants to establish an OER course,
yeah.
then how does it function commercially as well as on?
No, are you talking about the MOOC course or just the e-content or
No,
maybe some videos?
any course, if we want to put under OER as an
Yeah,
open educational resource, then
yeah.
how does it work
No,
and
you
how do we
create
go
the
about it?
content. You create the
Yeah.
content. You ask your website administrator to develop a separate page for populating your open education
Okay.
resources. The way in which how University of Pittsburgh, MIT OpenCourseWare has populated their content, same way you populate it. If you're using
Good.
some LMS platform like Moodle, with the help of Moodle also you can populate everything. That can be again live telecasted through your
Right.
website. I mean, that can be live streamed through your website. So
Correct.
anybody can enroll, anybody can watch the content. Anybody can download the material. Don't put any restriction. If you want, you just ask them to do some registration just for namesake.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for patiently
Devangi, any
answering all
more
our
question?
questions.
Did you check it?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. There are no more questions.
Yeah.
So, sir, I would
Archana, you
definitely
are
like to
going for
take
a
this
quiz or
opportunity.
sir will be going for quiz? 1 minute, Devangi.
Yes, ma'am.
Just
Archana?
quiz left. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
quiz is being
Archana
shared,
will be going
Divangi,
for a
or how
quiz.
do we go about? Or on the, we'll send it on mail. What do we do?
Sure, ma'am. We can definitely send it on the email for all the
Yeah, we
participants.
can send it on the email because the time is running fast, right? So we can do that. Yeah.
No
Okay.
problem.
Yeah.
So now I
So go
request
ahead.
I must say that sir has, I must say, sir has really, taken us through these open resources in such a lucid manner. And I'm sure that all of us will have the advantage of learning from him, which will go a long way. Particularly the students who always, use the open resources where the books are concerned. Now they will know, like, okay, how the resources are like that, where it can be used. And I'm very happy, that this kind of resources are available, because otherwise it is quite hefty to pay, and it's not always possible to pay. When everything comes in the dollars and all that, it becomes
Yeah.
difficult. So thank you very much,
Yes.
sir, and also
Thank you,
enlightening
sir. Thank
about,
you.
other resources, like instead of using the R or any of those you know statistical tools, instead
Right.
of that, the easily available statistical tools. Because I recently, one of these Stanford was making the tools, and they are actually thinking about, making them available, but at the cost. So I was telling them that why the people will go for it when such kind of things are available. So I think
Yeah.
the competition is so much, but people are trying to improve on these tools also, and I think that is beneficial. What I liked is that when you pointed out, yes, additional facilities are also there. It is only like how
Yeah.
you use it and get it
Yes.
done. Really
Yes.
wonderful session. I think all of us, even in the evening, got benefited from this entire thing. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your time.
Um,
Archana, you're on mute.
Ma'am, should I conduct the quiz now itself?
I think so. That is the demand from the students.
Okay, okay. So,
Ma'am,
yeah,
if you don't mind, shall I leave the
yeah,
meeting?
that's what I was thinking. Sir will get late.
Yeah.
That's why. So, if we can thank sir, and then we can take the
Yes,
Ma'am,
sir.
quiz.
in
Yes.
that case, can
Yes,
I
sir.
please propose the vote of
Yes, yes.
thanks?
Yes, please,
Yes, yes,
Devangi.
please. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. I would definitely like to take this opportunity and extend a vote of thanks on behalf of the Research Hub, Jain College Autonomous, to each and every one for being a part of our first endeavor through this Research Hub. It is indeed a big day for all of us inaugurating the Research Hub and, of course, the logo. I'm extremely glad that this ceremony has come to a glorious closure, and we have been able to recognize and applaud the efforts of our team members who have been working tirelessly to ensure that the students and the faculty gets the best of the facilities for the research. Thus, at the end of it, it gives me immense pleasure to see the proud faces of my team members and see their efforts bearing fruit. I would also like to extend a warm thank you to our speaker for the day today, that is Dr. Murugan, who took his precious time out to enlighten the students and faculty. This way, we will be able to work even harder and providing open resources to each and every researcher. Of course, behind the success of every program lies the support which shapes and inspires all of us to perform better and better. Dr. Wadia, our principal, have constantly inspired us to excel in whatever we do. Please allow me to propose a vote of thanks to our dear principal, sir. Do join us in our research hub Please follow our Instagram handle, and for all the activities in future, keep researchers in you always active. Also, when you please, this is an instruction for all the participants. When you fill the feedback form, ensure that your email addresses are correctly typed, otherwise the certificates won't reach you. Now I close my speech and wish everyone success and good health. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Murugan sir. Thank you,
Thank
Murugan
you
Thank
sir,
you,
a
for
lot.
ma'am. Thank you,
accepting
ma'am.
the
Thanks a lot
invite.
for your
I
Big
know
participation.
we
thanks to
have,
Ashok sir and Archana ma'am, Devangi ma'am,
um,
and Sankita
thank you
ma'am.
for
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
accepting
much,
the
sir.
invite. In fact, sir, he was very busy. So we could somehow get him for this particular session. And we'll be holding more sessions, sir, with
Yeah,
you as
definitely,
well.
ma'am. Pleasure, ma'am. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Bye bye. Yeah.
Bye.
I didn't want
Bye,
to
sir.
miss. I'm happy.
Thank you, sir. Sir, with your kind permission, may I conduct the quiz now?
Please go on.
Yes, thank you, sir. So the questions are being put forth to you here, and it is open to both the students and the faculty, and you can type on the chat. And our student volunteers are here,
Devangi,
and
can you
we
give the
must
answer?
thank our student volunteers, sir. We would like to put across to you that the logo has been designed by our student team here, and they have put in a lot of efforts in that. And in fact, everything, they have given us a massive support here to the faculty, and without whom it would not have been possible to hold this particular program.
So thank you
So,
from my side. Student always I say is my
yes,
strength
sir.
and Karim's strength. So
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. Rather, I'm very happy that even online process after the exam, they are ready to do all these kind of things. So
correct,
glad
sir.
to
Yes,
have them. Definitely, we'll
yes,
meet them now once the college reopen. I'm looking
yes,
forward to it. Thank you.
yes. All right, gear up for the quiz. All the participants, the first question coming your way is: open educational resources means a collection of textbooks that are made available for free to students on the internet. True or false? I repeat the question. Open educational resources means a collection of textbooks that are available for free to students on the internet. True or false?
So, ma'am, the students are answering. The answer is true from their side.
So, just 1 second more and I'll announce the answer here. So, have everyone put their messages there, the
Ma'am, a lot of
answers?
them are answering. A lot of them are answering, ma'am.
So, majority of them have answered true, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The answer is false. Okay, so let's move on to the second question. To qualify as OER, educational material must always be released under an open license that permits free use or repurposing by others. True or false? I repeat the question. To qualify as OER, educational material must always be released under an open license that permits free use or repurposing by others. True or false?
Ma'am, again, the answer I believe is true because majority of them are answering it as true.
Well, the questions which I have received and with the answers, it is showing false over here. Okay. So that is something which we need to also understand, that there is a little catch out here in the question. Which one of the following is not one of the 5 R permissions associated with OER as defined by David Wiley? And if it has not been touched upon, David Wiley, then we can move on to the next question, which is uh, SoundCloud provides free music clips. True or false? SoundCloud provides free music clips. True or false? What is the answer? Divangi there on the chat.
Ma'am, I'm getting a mixed thing now here. It's a lot of answers false, false, and then a few answers true.
So mostly it's actually the correct answer is true. The
Okay,
last
so I'm getting
question,
that as less in comparison. So if I put it in percentage, possibly only 20% of them are saying it's true. Otherwise, they are saying false.
then I think we need one more session, I guess. Isn't it? A
Absolutely,
little more
they
detailed
need to
session.
revisit the entire
Yeah.
session.
No,
Yes,
no,
I
no.
guess.
Let me tell you something here. This is a very common thing because what is obvious, people normally say yes, they don't go further. So I think this is very important for every student to learn that if they want to carry out the research, they don't do it superficially. What
Right.
I can see is the learning from here. Because if they are
Absolutely.
going to do the research, just what they see, then they will not go deeper and really try to do the research. So I
Right.
think this particular quiz session is very important. And now what happened is that after getting the first two answers, which they said true, but which are with the catch, which they didn't realize and were false. So obviously the next question they didn't want to take a risk, and therefore most of them went with
What
that
is it?
when the answer was true. Okay, which was also obvious, but still they said, okay, all right, let us not take the risk. So you see, this
Right.
is the human mind, and what is important in the research is that you cannot make your mind biased. You should not get influenced. So if the students are learning, I'm saying that the session was good, but the quiz is also good because there's a lot of learning. So it is not just again revisiting the session, but what is the takeaway from this session and the quiz that will be important in their life, where the research they will
Absolutely.
carry out for the future.
Absolutely.
Very,
Correct, sir.
very important, and thank you for
Yes, absolutely.
conducting this.
And I think practice makes a person perfect. So we will have to practice it. This is the last question coming the way of the in the way of the participants and over here. When you blend CC by attribution license with CC by SA, the output license is dash. When you blend CC by attribution license with CC by SA, the output license is dash. Does anyone want to try? Not giving the options.
Two false, one true is over now.
No. Here, is there some original answer coming? Devangi, I can't see the chat.
Uh, no, ma'am. It's not yet. I have
Okay.
not got any answers yet, ma'am.
So the options are CC by attribution, public domain, CC by SA, and CC by NCSA.
Repeat.
Uh,
Repeat करके. One request is for repeat, Archana.
Yeah. When you blend CC by attribution license with CC by SA, the
no,
output
ma'am. Please
license
repeat. I
is
think they are not able to understand.
okay. I think this question is a little tough also for them. I think the students, for them, it is tough, right?
Some
We
have
can
answered.
answer is CC by SA. Okay.
Yes, perfect, Aslan. Very good.
Essay. Yeah, that is what is
And the
answered, ma'am.
right.
Yes,
Fine. So, with this,
very
the
good,
quiz is
Aslan.
over. And I think we will share the resources which we have received today from Murugan sir. And we will be creating an e resource or a drive where you all can access once you become the member of the hub. So, once you become the member of the hub, we will be providing you the access to these sources and all. Thank you. Over to Sangeeta, ma'am.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot, all
Thank
the
you.
students, for your efforts. Wonderful effort by our team members. Yes, thanks a lot for all the participants. And because of your wonderful response, we had to go on YouTube Live.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks,
Shall we
thanks a
close?
lot. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, Archana.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks all. Devangi.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. I think Devangi, we can close now.
Devangi, you can stop live.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have just posted the link. I think we'll have to keep it open for
Yes,
two
keep it
minutes
back.
so that
Keep
they
it
can
back.
access the
Link,
link.
yes.
Correct.
Feedback
Yeah.
link will
Yes,
be
yes, ma'am.
open for 20 more minutes. 20 minutes more.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
For 20 minutes now.
So,
So we
students,
can.
please ensure, I'm sorry, all the participants, please ensure that you give us the feedback so that we can definitely do better.
Yeah.
Please ensure that you all fill up the feedback.
And if you want a second session on it, please suggest that as well.
Your suggestions are always welcome.
Divangi, 20 minutes, we can exit from here and they can see on the WhatsApp. Is that possible? No.
Just post the feedback link again. Vedanta.
Uh, Ma'am, they are saying they are unable to access the link. Uh,
Tell them to refresh and try that.
We'll check with Dibhu. Just a second.
okay, ma'am, our volunteers are saying that the link is working fine. So I believe students who are not able to access the link, please refresh your page and click it again. I am posting the link again.
Yeah. Students have failed.
Yes,
See,
there
some
are a few
students have failed.
students have
Yeah.
already filled. Yes, we have received a few responses. So please, YouTube can't open the Chirag, you don't have to open the link on YouTube. You need to copy that link and paste it in the Google, in the Google Chrome so that it opens.
It's working, I think, now.
They were
Yes, ma'am,
trying to
students
open
are
in the
filling it, ma'am.
YouTube. Yeah. That's it.
Just in case if you all need the link, I have posted it several times. I hope it helps and you're able to fill the forms. Most welcome. It was a pleasure having you all here. Thank you so much. Yes, if you are done filling the feedback form, you can leave. Thank you so much. Thank you. Peer Mudasir is saying he is unable to access the link. Peer, I have posted the link again. Can you please check? Yes, if you are done filling the form, you all can leave. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shuchita ma'am.
Again, Piri is saying the link is not opening.
I don't know what to do, ma'am, because everybody else is able to fill the form.
He has to try something. Just tell.
Um, ma'am, can we stop?
Yes, please stop live recording.
Yes, ma'am.